And so, what do you think about the attack on white men?
I knew you were going to come back to that. I'm trying to talk about puss. Well, I'm Jewish. I have Jewish blood.
Is it true the Jews own everything?
100%. I own this studio.
I believe it.
I own that stopwatch.
Well, this building is owned by Jews.
In this area? What are you going to tell me? Today's day ends in Y, too?
I know. And so, but anyway, what do you think about the attack on white men?
Well, I bring up being Jewish. The Holocaust affects me because, of what it did to generations of my people. Whereas I think if you ask a black person about the Holocaust, they're probably sad about it, but it's not a big deal to them.
You can't find one black sad about it.
I can find one black.
Yeah, Larry.
Sammy Davis.
Larry.
No, I'm just kidding. I think the Holocaust was pretty much a white disaster, a white Jewish situation. So I'm sure a black person was like, hey, I feel bad for you guys, but it didn't affect me.
Yeah.
So getting back to your question of why white people are blamed, slavery.
Slavery?
Was a white person, a white created problem, I guess.
Why had nothing to do with slavery?
Oh, well, most of the slave owners were white.
No. A lot of them were black.
Name one black slave owner.
I don't know.
Besides Donald Sterling.
I can't name one right now, but in places like Tennessee, I believe, or one of there, a lot of black people owned slaves in those days.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it didn't happen.
And it was the Arabs who went over to Africa, Mommy Africa, and bought the slave from other black people and took them around the world. It wasn't the white people, and anyone that could afford a slave bought one.
Well, they were just giving them a ride home to the U.S.
Right.
I mean...
So what do you think about the attack on white men?
Well,
Is it right?
I understand it.
You understand it?
Well, like look at the Rodney King situation. 6 white cops beating the you-know-what out of them.
Right.
So I understand why African Americans were angry at white people, because what they saw was 6 white people.
But had Rodney King stopped when they told him to, didn't race down the freeway like he did, and even when they were able to stop him, he seemed, if I remember correct, he was on some type of drugs. I may be wrong, but it was difficult. He was so big. Had he not done those things, would they have had to beat him?
If he did everything by the book, no. But
I rest my case.
Well, I would also say that, now I love the police.
Me too.
Let me tell you right now, if someone breaks into my house tonight, I'm not calling a cousin.
Right.
I'm calling West Hollywood sheriffs. I think they could have handled it differently too. Like the Tyreek Hill situation. Do you know about that situation last week? The Miami Dolphins receiver.
What a mess.
He was...
They should lock him up.
Well, but
right?
I see both sides. Like, from the...
They told the guy, let your window down. What do you do when the cops say let your window down?
I know what I do. I got my hands on the steering wheel,
Me too.
And I'm putting the window up with my foot.
Yes. And so had he done what they asked him to do according to the videos, would he have had to go through what he went through?
No.
I rest my case.
But I think, the one white officer had like 13 complaints about him about excessive force. And so I could understand, I'm not black, so I can't, I look at that and go, oh man, I think the cop kind of overreacted.
But if you have to deal with blacks acting that way all day, every day, wouldn't you get a little sick of it after a while? And you were like, you know what, get you out of this car.
I could see why.
Wouldn't you get fed up with it after a while?
I could see cops' frustration.
Yeah.
I could understand it. I could understand African Americans' frustration with the cops for what they've, there's dirty cops who I had a friend of mine I went to high school with, who I saw at a hockey game. The white sport, hockey. The puck is black, but thank God the ice is white.
Well, be careful. It's going to be, everything's going to be black soon.
I'm telling you, it's going to be, we're going to be lawn bowling
Yeah,
experts.
amazing.
But so I saw him at a game. I said, "Hey man, what are you up to?" I'm a cop, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm in Inglewood. I love it. I'm like, I get to, I get to get my shots in legally." I'm like, "Oh boy, that
Nice.
well, I mean, I'm not really."
Oh, you didn't think they were pretty cool?
I know. I thought, Jesus, bro, that's kind of racist, no? And he's like, "I love it." Like he got, he was a not dirty cop, he was a bad cop.
No.
Because he joined the force to basically harass and beat up the opposite race.
And so do you think it's right and fair that white people are to blame for everything?
I don't
to
think...
be blamed for everything, every complaint, and the attack on white people, do you think that's fair? Do you think it's right?
I think no race is 100% blamable for everyone's problems.
Yeah.
You could look at, Al Sharpton and some of the race baiting he's done, and go, "Oh, he's out of control." But then you could, point to some things that, Trump's dad did, not renting to minorities, and go, "Well, that's..."
Do you blame him?
Well,
they don't pay.
Well, yeah, but you can't say... I don't think you can generalize. Like,
no, they don't.
White
and
people
they late.
Don't pay.
They be late. If they do pay, they're gonna pay late.
Are you in blackface right now? Like, this is out of control.
What do you mean?
Your teeth are whiter than anything.
Isn't it true though? That
I don't think
they pay late.
You can't generalize like that.
Why not?
Because it's like saying all Asian people have small weenies.
I didn't say.
Not all of them do.
How you know?
I've been in the gym. I've been in the locker room. And you can't say all African Americans have huge weenies.
Amazing. And so, if they don't pay and they complain and they're late, would you want to rent to people like that?
Any race. I wouldn't want to rent to a white person.
How about the blacks?
Well, if they paid on time.
I rest my case.
But you can't say all black people don't pay on time.
I didn't say all. Not all, but most.
You're kind of saying it.
Not all, but most.
But I don't think you can say most.
Why not?
I think, you can't say, most cops are good.
Do you love white people?
I mean, I love all people.
Do you love white people?
I don't love them any more than I do black people.
Do you love white people?
Can I come back? I'm having... I thought, geez, Pico and La Cienega, I don't know if I'm going to have a good time here, but... sorry, I just doxed you guys. My bad. I'm at Fairfax and Crenshaw. They're parallel. I like I said before we started recording, I like anyone who's nice to me. Now, you burn me, then we're going to have a problem.
Right.
Whether you're black, white, Jewish, Catholic, whatever. I don't see color. I really don't.
Nice. So what color am I?
Chartreuse. You're definitely black. There's no doubt about that.
That's right.
You're probably going to clip
I'm black
that.
at the ace of space.
You are so black, you made Dikembe Mutombo look like an albino.
I rest my case.
Amazing.
Amazing.
See, we're talking now. You got me talking.
Amazing. And so, do you love white people?
I mean, I don't dislike them.
Do you love them?
I mean, I like white people who are nice to me. I like black people who are nice to me.
Do you believe that racism exists?
Oh, 100%.
What's your proof?
Well, I mean, look at the Proud Boys. I mean, I don't think you're wearing hoods because you're trying to avoid the suntan.
But what is it about the Proud Boys that's racist?
Well, I don't think you see a lot of black members.
But there are some black members.
I had never seen a black member.
I believe I even met maybe one or two black Proud Boys.
Well, that must have been at Roscoe's late night. See, I slip in a little racism now. I believe there's racism all over the...
What's your proof?
Well, I had a friend of mine. His name's Roger Maxwell.
He's black or white?
He's black.
Okay.
He's got a white name, so he slides.
Right.
He was a pro hockey player. Had a cup of coffee with the Boston Bruins, but primarily played a level or two below the NHL in southern cities. And he said that when he would play in Alabama, Alexandria, Virginia, Mississippi, that white people would hang a basketball net on the glass, by the goaltender to mess with his mind.
Nice.
And that's racist.
How's that racist? They're trying to win.
Yeah, but he's not going to shoot the puck in the bucket. I mean, so Mark Furman, dropping the N-bomb more than Eazy-E on a NWA album.
But what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with saying the N-word?
Right.
Nothing if the windows are up. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna get killed after this. Can someone walk me to my car? Is this live or are we on YouTube? I mean, there's
The blacks say it all the time.
yeah, but that's allowed.
But why? If it's good for the goose, why isn't it good for the gander?
Well, it's the way I was raised. That's a bad word to say if you're of my skin hue.
And you fell for it.
Well, I mean, I do have a funny story about saying that word the first time. So I grew up playing golf. This is pre-Tiger Woods. I think the only black golfer in my era that was of prominence. There was two, Lee Elder and Calvin Pete. And but even before I knew who those guys were, I was a pretty good golfer, self-taught. So one day I shot bogey golf, which is 1 over par. So if a hole's par 4, I shot a 5. And it's on the front 9 at Bel Air Country Club, from the men's tees.
Right.
I was about 12, 13 years old. So I shot, I think it was a 45, which is pretty good. I run into the clubhouse. I said to one of the members, hey, Jim, I just shot bogey golf on the front 9 from the men's tees. And he looks at me and goes, son, that's golf.
Nice.
And I had no idea what that meant. So about 20 minutes later, I go down to the caddy yard. Of course, it's 99% black. And I was so happy. I said, guys, this member just said I shot golf. And the biggest, blackest caddy, I'll never forget, his name was Ray Hood. He was pro wrestling big, 6'7", 400 pounds. Just goes, hey, we love that member, but don't ever say that word again. I'm like, why not?
Amazing.
So I do think there's racism.
Really. Racism does not exist, has never existed, and never will and cannot exist.
I mean,
And I grew up on a plantation
well, that's your problem.
in Alabama.
Were you working or did you own it?
I was working it.
Okay. Oh, well, then. Well,
And our battle is a spiritual battle. It's either good or evil. You run into good people and you run into evil people. And they have taken that word evil and turned it into racism for personal gain. It depends on when I was growing up, black people and white people knew there were good and bad people. And those who loved good, they got along. Those who did not get along. And we were taught to treat everybody the same as we would like to be treated. The civil rights people made up that word. The blacks made that word up to control you people.
well, I do agree.
You people.
Hey, don't call me that, man. We're going to have a problem, bro. I think there are good and bad people in both races, or all races.
It's spiritual, it's not physical.
But I think, I've experienced, I don't know if it's considered racism, but, when people hear I'm Jewish, they're like, oh, you must be pretty cheap, or you must be pretty good with a buck. To me, that's racist.
But why is that?
Well, it's true, but it's racist. I am good with a dollar.
Right. Jews are known to be good with money and tight.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I'm tighter than a clam with lockjaw.
So why is that racist to say that and know that?
Well, because I don't think you can say that about all Jews. Like, Irv is great with money.
Have you ever met a Jew that wasn't good with money?
I mean, you got me on that one. I'm not going to lie. You got me on that one. But, it's... I don't think you can ever group any race or religious people. You can't say all Arabs are terrorists. Well, I mean, but you know what I'm saying, like.
Then why is it whenever you and I are around Arabs, we hold our neck?
Well, I hold my wallet, but like, but that's the Jewish part of me. Get it? We just combined two racist jokes into one. This is like Amos and Andy right here.
I love that.
I bet you did like that show.
I love that show.
Did you watch Roots in slow motion just to get it going? No, I'm just kidding.
I should have, but I didn't.
100%.